Good morning children. Welcome back to Social Studies tutorial. I hope you all are well at home. So students, in today's session we are going to continue the climatic controls or the factors which affect India's climate. As you all know that in our last session we have learnt about latitude and altitude. So in today's session majorly we are going to talk about pressure and surface winds, upper air circulation and western cyclonic disturbances and subtropical cyclones. So let's continue that. As you all know that India's climate and associated weather condition in India is governed by these atmospheric conditions. So these are pressure and surface wind, upper air circulation and western cyclonic disturbances. Students, in the initial sessions I have told you that India lies in your northern eastern, means in your northeastern part. So what exactly that India lies in northeasterly winds. Just because of this it is called northeasterly winds. So what exactly, when these winds blow blow south, it gets deflected and right due to Coriolis force. Coriolis force is also known as Ferrel stone, for which we are going to talk later, and move towards the equatorial low pressure area. Because when we were talking about the climate controls and once we were learning that pressure and winds, then I taught you that the winds just blow from high pressure to low pressure areas. So when it moves towards the equatorial low pressure area, it carries very little moisture with it. So if we talk about this situation, so according to this, India should be an arid land and low rainfall should be there. But students, we have already learned that India has a monsoon type of climate. So why there is no rainfall, means there is no low rainfall? Because it experiences the varying precipitation. So why it is not there? That is just because of this Coriolis force. Now let's learn what the Coriolis force is. So students, here we are talking about Coriolis force. That what a Coriolis force, as I told you, it is also known as Ferrel's laws. So this is a force which is responsible for the deflection of the winds. Because how it is reflected, that as we have already learned that the winds flow from high pressure to low pressure area. So this is equator, and already we have seen that from the equator that the winds, there is low pressure. So what exactly, the winds go upper side, and once it gets vacuum, then it gets turned or tilted, then again it just comes towards the low pressure area, high pressure to low pressure. So then similarly it happens there in the southern side. So Coriolis force, what exactly, this is the force which is responsible for the deflection of winds. They are right in the northern hemisphere and towards the left in the southern hemisphere, due to the difference in the linear velocity. Here we are talking about the difference in the linear velocity of the Earth's rotation and its atmosphere. So what exactly, this is the Earth. For example, suppose this is the Earth and this is the winds. What exactly, there is the different velocity. So Earth has the different velocity, it has its different velocity. So Earth has the major velocity. Just because of this, many times you just observe that suppose if a person who is riding a bike at a fast speed, having an object there on the bike. So what exactly, suppose the object gets fell down. So what happens, that the object, that the bike goes in that direction, and this gets just at the back. So why this does not get at the street? This gets just deflected from there because of that Coriolis force, because there is the different velocity there. Because of this it's get deflected. So what towards like right towards the northern and left towards the southern. So what exactly, suppose here if I just here if I am standing here, so it is straight, then what exactly they are at the right towards the northern, it is right, and like once we talk about the northern side, then it is towards the left. This is the only means that is the that is responsible only because of Coriolis force, that it gets deflected, because already we have also learned that the axis like the earth is tilted, it is tilted at 23.5 degrees, just because of this it happens. So the climatic conditions over India is unique just because of that Coriolis force, because though we have learned according to that there must be an arid land and rainfall should be low, but it does not happens actually, because the winds gets deflected from the high pressure to low pressure. So in summers there are the differences in both in summers and winters, because in summers low pressure area over the interior of the Asia and high pressure on the southern Indian Ocean. So when it gets to like from the high pressure to low pressure, then from southwest winds it starts moving towards the Indian mainland, and because of that moving over the oceans, these winds also carry moisture which causes rainfall. Students, now understand the concept of upper air circulation. That what upper air circulation? So that we have to understand jet stream. What the jet stream is? The upper tropospheric circulation flowing with very high velocity. Here again we are talking about the velocity, which differs because during summers the velocity is 110 kilometers per hour, whereas it remains in winters with a velocity of 184 kilometers per hour respectively, and has a drastic changes or the meteorological impact over the climate. So if we talk about in India's context, so subtropical region, subtropical jet stream. Here I am talking about subtropical jet stream that affects India's climate. How it affects? Because suppose now the earth, like here we are talking about the earth like this. So suppose this is the earth, so this is the surface, here 0 degree lies. Here I am talking about 0 degree means that is the equator where the low pressure lies, and here at 30 degree. Fine. So what exactly here is the high pressure. So what exactly was the there is the low pressure wind, so it gets like upper, and there it gets there, then once it gets the vacuum, then it gets deflected and again it goes there towards the surface, but the complete winds does not get tilted. So there is the like some of the amount of the winds which remains there, these are the upper air, that is the upper air circulation. So why it is subtropical? Because you know very well that at 23 degree 23.5 degree north there is Tropic of Cancer, and there at 23.5 degree there is Tropic of Cancer. So what exactly here, this is the tropical zone, and just after just above the 23.5 degree north there is the subtropical zone. So that the India's latitudinal extent that is mainly in between 27 to 30 degrees. Fine. So just because of this the subtropical jet stream affect India's climate. So there is an extension of the diverging masses flowing in the troposphere. So there are the different positions of the jet stream in summer and winter as well. In summers that remains north to the Himalayas, whereas in south it remains like in winters it remains south to the Himalayas. So this influence the climate of Himalayas, because of which it leads to the western cyclonic disturbance which brings the rainfall in winters. So the weather phenomena of the winter months occur due to winds, these are the jet streams, brought in due to the westerly flow from the Mediterranean region. So due to western cyclonic disturbances, the weather of the north and the northwestern part of the country is also influenced. So students, these were the factors which affected. I hope you have understood well. So we'll continue the remaining chapter in our next session. Till the time, stay tuned, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.